Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Kami dari kelompok 13, kelas Gizi C 2019 yang beranggotakan Ardhana Hijratur Rahman, Juli Asnita, Jecika Destari Natalia, Putri Faizah, Natasya Amelia Mulyadi akan menampilkan simulasi penggunaan lab.
Sebentar ya. Udah nampak?
Udah.
Udah, Juli.
Oke.
Klik.
Welcome to the lab safety simulation. I am Dr. One, your AI lab assistant. Today, you will learn everything you need to know to survive your first day in the lab. Are you ready for the challenge?
Sebentar ya, we.
Iya.
Udah kelihatan?
Sudah.
Oke.
Continue, Juli.
This simulation uses voiceovers. If you don't have audio, click the speaker symbol on the top right of your lab pad to switch the play mode. If you disable the sound effects, the lab pad will slide up whenever there are instructions to read. You can select what type of audio you prefer. Deselecting any of the options will. Using the lab pad is an important way to get the most out of this simulation. Is this the first time you are playing a labster simulation?
Yes, please.
This is your lab pad. Use the lab pad at any time to access relevant theory about the lab, or additional instructions on what to do next. You can slide down the lab pad by clicking anywhere on the background. Try it out. Well done. When your lab pad is lowered, you can listen to me without having to click continue. You can interact with highlighted objects. Arrows help you in finding their location. Now click on the corner of your lab pad to raise it. The lab pad will guide you through the virtual lab and will store all the information you collect while playing.
Okay,
Continue to proceed. Make sure you read the information in this white text box carefully. You won't be able to access it anymore after you click continue.
Continue-nya nge-lag, we.
Iya, udah nggak apa-apa. Tungguin aja.
You can access all relevant information in the 4 tabs above. Use your mouse wheel or drag the gray bar on the right side of the lab pad to scroll down. You can rotate the camera by clicking and dragging your cursor to the side. Click on the background. If you ever get stuck somewhere, you can click me for help. During the simulation, I'll ask you multiple choice questions with 4 options. Well done. That is the correct answer. When you answer a quiz question correctly, your score will increase. You will get 10 points if you answer the lab pad can also show you images relevant for the simulation. You can track your progress in the mission tab. Go to the mission tab if you want to get an overview of your work or load from a checkpoint. Good job. Now you know how to use the functions of the lab pad. It's time to get hands-on. You can interact with the objects in this lab by clicking on them once. If you hover over an object, you will see a tooltip pop up. In case an object is out of view, you will see arrows on the side of your field of view. Just turn around to find the object. Are you ready to start with your mission?
Yes,
Jadi,
let's get
Perfect.
started.
Then let's get started with your first mission.
Continue.
continue. Mari kita mulakan.
Ayo cari perlengkapan sebelum masuk.
Sebentar, lagi proses.
First, find a lab coat. Click on it to put it on.
Oke,
Kita mencari
sebelum kita
baju.
memasuki lab, kita harus menggunakan jas lab dan kacamata lab.
Now pick up the safety goggles and you are ready to go.
Oke.
Click on the door to enter the laboratory.
Setelah kita pakai, kita bisa masuk.
This lab was used by first-year chemistry students and they obviously didn't leave it in the safest condition. Have a look around and
Continue.
identify the different hazards.
Mari kita cari benda
Find 5
berbahaya
safety
ini.
hazards and click on them.
Kita mencari benda berbahaya. Oke. Di mana kan
Ibu,
dia?
itu
Ini.
di depan pintu keluar darurat, iya ya. Ada objek yang
Well
menghalangi.
spotted. Every lab has 2 emergency exits which ensure that nobody gets caught.
Continue.
Click on the handcart to move it to a safe location.
Oke. Kita geser dia ke samping sebelah kanan.
Well done. The emergency exits have to always be clear.
Oke,
Continue.
pertama selesai.
1 hazard down.
Cari yang
4 more to
kedua.
go. Identify the hazards by clicking on them. The fume hood constantly draws air through a filter to ensure that you don't get in contact with dangerous chemicals. The airflow only works if the
Kenapa
glass
J
sash
kurang
is pulled
jelas?
down. Let's
Pengari
close
asamnya
this
itu
fume
belum
hood.
ketutup kok, belum ketutup nanti oksigen udara yang di laboratorium terkontaminasi. Geser ke atas
Kita
deh.
tutup. Geser ke bawah.
What a relief. Now the air is
Okay.
safe to breathe. There are 3 more hazards. Can you
Kita
find
cari
them?
3 kesalahan lagi.
Ini nih, gelas-gelas kimia yang belum diisi ini tuh.
Sebentar ya.
Eh,
Jaringan agak susah. Oke, kita ke sini.
A sink full of dirty glassware isn't a nice surprise.
Continue.
Make sure you always
Mari kita bersihkan.
Bersihkan satu-satu. Selesai.
beautiful, clean and tidy.
Beautiful.
There are 2 more hazards. Can you
Sudah
find
3,
them?
kita cari 2 lagi.
Dua lagi.
Di bot.
Ini bahan-bahan kimia yang ada
For
yang
sure,
nggak di tempat.
chemicals need to be stored in designated cupboards and not just placed on the floor. This is especially important.
Continue.
There is 1 more hazard. Click on it.
Kita ke sini dulu.
Iya, kita ke situ dulu.
Apa sih? Kita ke sini dulu.
That's it. This bench looks very
Okay.
messy. It is important to keep the lab bench tidy.
Continue.
Time to take care of the hazardous chemicals on boxes. Click on
Untuk
them to
kita
have a
ke-
closer look.
Ke botol.
Botol-botol yang berserakan.
Click on the bottle containing flammable liquid. Well done. The red diamonds on the
Okay.
bottles are called hazard symbols.
Mari kita
Each of them
perhatikan
depicts a different
semua.
hazard. Have a look at the
Perhatikan
following overview of the different
bahan-bahannya.
hazard symbols.
Ini
gambar-gambarnya.
yang harus diperhatikan ketika masuk ke laboratorium.
Yang harus kita jauhi.
Continue.
Which symbol depicts an oxidizing reagent?
Oke. Yang mana oksidasi reagent?
Sesuai yang tadi, option D. Option D.
D,
Option D, D.
Apa sih D? Option D.
D kan?
Ya.
Precisely. Oxidizing reagents are very dangerous because what does the following mean?
Ini mana gambarnya?
Ini
Oh,
A, option A.
healthy hazard.
health hazard.
Health hazard.
Got it.
Health hazard.
Any kinds of health
Betul.
hazards. Here is an image of the hazard
Terus?
symbol on the box. What does it mean?
Kayak yang gemuk
Option
ya.
D.
Apa tuh?
Explosive.
Option D. Option D.
Explosive.
Well done. These chemicals definitely don't. Click on the bottles to remove them.
Kita
Let's
klik
get rid of this
botolnya.
safety hazard.
Hilang.
Click on the
Dari
cluttered
menuju
workbench to tidy it
meja.
up.
Sekarang kita pergi ke meja.
Oh dear, this workbench is a real mess. Hope you
Continue.
never see something like this. Turn off the
Di
Bunsen
sini
burner
kita
flame.
mencari kesalahan yang ada di
Dari
meja ini.
kesalahan
Itu botol Coca-Cola, oke.
yang pertama adalah cola.
Bunsen burner dulu.
Bunsen
Oh iya,
dulu lah,
matikan
nanti
dulu.
kebakar.
Oh, yang nyala itu.
Oh iya benar.
Oke, kita matikan.
Pertama bunsen dulu.
Now click on an object that you should never bring
Bunsen.
into the lab.
Selanjutnya,
Selanjutnya
Ayo geser.
kita ambil botol cola.
Nggak lihat iPad-nya
Well
juga.
spotted. Food and drink are
Okay.
strictly prohibited in the lab. Imagine if somebody grabbed the wrong bottle by mistake and took a sip of the toxic substance.
continue. Selanjutnya,
There's another object
Selanjutnya
that
adalah
doesn't
tas.
belong here. Find it.
Karena tasnya
Exactly.
mendapat
Personal
berbahaya
equipment
jika
is not supposed to be
terbakar.
placed on workbench surfaces. Before you touch anything
Selanjutnya.
else, better wear gloves. Click on the glove
Kita-
box
Itu
to put
bakteri.
some on.
pakai sarung tangan.
Memakai sarung tangan terlebih dahulu.
There is a living organism on this bench. Can you find it?
Setelah itu kita membuang.
Membuang koloni bakteri.
Kita
Oh,
buang.
have a look at this. There is a bacteria colony growing on this agar plate. This might
Karena
be
ini
some
adalah
dangerous
patogen
pathogen.
bahaya
We need to use a
yang
special bin for biological waste.
berbahaya jika terkena.
Oh gitu.
Discard the petri dish with the unknown bacterial sample in the biohazard waste bin.
Oke.
There is still a
Kita
protocol of a
memerlukan
previous experiment on the table.
limbah
Clean up the lab protocol.
Kita ambil, ini ada protokol labor. Kita ambil. Oh tidak.
Oops, you just spilled a hazardous
Sumpah.
chemical. Have a look at the hazard symbol
Kita
on the
melupakan
beaker.
berbahaya.
bahan kimia yang sangat berbahaya.
What does the hazard symbol on the beaker mean?
Apa simbol dari bahan
Korosi.
adalah kimia tersebut? Jawabannya
Adalah,
Gambarnya apa dijelasnya? Korosi.
kita tengok dulu ya. Nih,
Korosif.
Nggak ada gambar tangan. Oke, korosi.
Brilliant. This is a corrosive chemical. You only need a tiny drop of the indicator.
selanjutnya
You
kita
can use a
untuk
micropipette
membersihkannya
for this.
kita harus
Pick up the pipette from its
menggunakan
holder.
pipet untuk mendeteksi
Now
apakah
pick up a pipette
indikator
tip
dari
from the
pH
box.
tersebut.
Draw up a drop of the indicator liquid. Now add a drop to the identify if it's an acid or a base. Fantastic. When you added the indicator liquid to the spill, the drop turned red. This means the spilled chemical must be a strong acid. We need to neutralize it before cleaning it up. Strong acids react with your skin can cause burns. That's why, first, discard the tip in the trash bin and put spills of strong acids or bases have to be neutralized before you can dispose of them. Sodium
Berbahaya nggak
bicarbonate is
suaranya?
the chemical term for baking soda.
Enggak.
It neutralizes the acid, and the remains can be scooped into a plastic bin and discard. Pick up the baking soda.
selanjutnya kita membersihkannya dengan baking soda.
Soda.
Put baking soda
Kita
on the spilled
tuangkan.
solution. Well done. Now put the neutralizer back on the shelf.
Kita letakkan lagi tempatnya. Setelah itu
Now it is safe to use an absorbent paper to
kita
clean up
lap
the spill.
dengan ini.
Absorber paper.
Bersih.
The neutralized acid can be disposed of in the solid chemical waste. Usually, the chemical waste is stored in a fume hood. Click on the trash bin to discard your
Kita buang
contaminated
sarung
clothes.
tangan.
Why didn't you just clean the spill with water?
Mengapa kita tidak membersihkannya dengan air?
Kenapa?
Because A.
Karena
Option
asam
A,
akan
option
bereaksi
A.
dengan air.
Asam akan bereaksi dengan air.
A.
Iya, A.
Super.
Iya.
If you drop water into a strong acid, they react and produce a lot of heat.
Kita
Now,
menjatuhkan air
just because this
dalam
is a
asin
virtual
kuat,
lab,
maka air
let's do
akan
something
bereaksi
crazy and
menghasilkan
simulate a
banyak
situation in
panas.
which you don't wear any
Reaksi
safety
tersebut
goggles. Don't try this
berpotensi
at home.
menyebabkan percikan asam. Tetes bahan kimia korosif di mata Anda dapat menyebabkan kerusakan serius dan menyebabkan kebutaan. Itulah mengapa penting kita menggunakan kacamata pengaman.
Baik.
Oke.
Kemudian, ayo
Put the
kita
goggles on the bench.
melakukan hal juga dalam lab virtual ini. Tapi ingat, jangan coba-coba melakukan ini di rumah.
Oke, selanjutnya kita letakkan kacamata kita.
Pour the beaker containing the
Okay.
unknown acid solution into the bottle with the unknown toxic liquid. Like I said, don't ever try this at home.
Kita ya. Nih. Kita ambil larutannya. Kita tuangkan ke dalam botol.
This
Setelah
seems
itu,
to have triggered an interesting reaction. It seems potentially dangerous. What should you do now?
apa yang akan kita lakukan?
Evacuate the lab.
Definitely. If you have no idea what kind of chemicals you are dealing with, you better get out of the lab until the danger is contained. In this case, we will do the opposite to show you what can happen if you make this critical mistake. Hopefully, you will remember this. It's still bubbling. Take a closer look by picking the bottle up.
Kita tutup. Dan ternyata dia tidak mau. Sekarang kita ambil botolnya. Oh, tidak, kita harus
Oh no, you've
segera
got acid in your eyes.
melarikan diri.
Lari, Jol.
Tunggu, sabar sebentar.
Lari.
Jantungan
Quickly go to the
sumpah.
red safety station next to the emergency. Push the toggle at the safety station to rinse your eyes with water.
Oke, aman.
Itu tadi dia terkena
After washing the acid out of your
larutan
eyes, you
kimianya
should immediately
matanya.
consult a
Jadi
doctor.
harus segera
Your eyes are
dibersihkan
very
dengan
fragile and it is very
air.
important to protect them with safety goggles at all times.
Tapi walaupun sudah dibersihkan dengan air tadi, harus juga cek ke dokter.
Oke.
Why is it dangerous to
Okay.
wear contact lenses in the lab?
Nih, kenapa berbahaya untuk pakai kontak lensa di laboratorium? Karena bisa terperangkap di dalam si kontak lensanya itu, iya nggak?
Oh, berarti option B.
Iya, berarti B.
Liquid can be trapped under them.
Ini udah direkam.
Udah.
Precisely. The chemical splash might get in between the lenses and the eyeball, and stay there even when you start washing. Your decision to evacuate the lab has been reconfirmed. If something is steaming or... Now, can you find the fire blanket?
Fire blanket. Sebelahnya lagi jual itu.
What should you not do if a person's clothes suddenly catch fire?
Wrap a prayer. Option D. Iya kan?
Ini
Option
pilihannya
Apa tuh guys?
Option D.
Enggak. Apa nih?
Ya, option D.
Option D.
D
Iya,
atau
itu.
D?
Iya deh.
D,
Apa?
D.
apa nggak dengar?
Apa yang
Iya,
nggak
D.
boleh kita lakuin jika baju seseorang kena api, ya kan?
Iya,
Iya,
betul.
guys.
Iya.
You got it. The most effective way to extinguish burning clothes is by rolling on the floor. What would you use if there was an open fire in the lab?
Iya.
Never use a carbon dioxide-based extinguisher on a person. Do you know the reason why?
Why?
Option A. CO2 is freezing cold.
Brilliant. The carbon dioxide is compressed inside the extinguisher and becomes freezing cold when it's released. What is the first thing you have to do if there is a fire in the lab?
Run, lari.
Run bukan run.
Nggak kita peringatin aja orang-orang. Oh, ada api.
Out the people. Iya.
Iya kan?
Iya itu.
Jadi B.
Iya, B.
Iya.
Precisely. Fighting the fire is only a priority when everybody is safe and aware of the danger.
Yeah.
Great job. You're a safety
Good job.
expert now. What
Ayo
lab
kita
safety
cek.
protocols is Lucy violating? You can always lower the lab pad and have a look at her again.
Yang D bukan. She is not
Iya,
dressed
dia
early
tidak
working in the lab.
memakai perlengkapan
Lab.
baju lab.
Jadi guys,
That's right. Have a look at her again and what's wrong.
Kenapa, Put?
Apapun. Ya, Putri tadi mau ngomong.
Oh, tidak. Mari kita lanjutkan.
Lanjut berarti.
Click on different parts of Lucy's clothing to identify her mishaps.
Bagian mana aja nih dia yang enggak? Yang dia perlu pakai pengamanan.
Ayo kita
Pertama.
cek lagi.
Kita cek dari atas ya.
Iya.
Rambut.
Well
rambutnya.
said. When you are working in the
Pernah
lab,
nggak diikat?
long hair should be tied back. Imagine if her hair catches fire on a Bunsen burner flame.
Selanjutnya,
Kacamata.
kacamatanya.
Good job. You have already learned why properly.
Selanjutnya, baju.
Yes. Iya, baju.
She looks pretty unprofessional
Iya,
without a
baju.
lab coat, right?
Selanjutnya, ini nggak boleh pakai
Well
kalung.
spotted. Large
Nggak boleh
jewelry
pakai
can get in the
aksesoris
way,
lainnya.
fall into chemicals or
Selanjutnya, ini
Lengan baju.
lengan bajunya.
These loose sleeves are very impractical. You don't want your sleeves soaked in chemicals.
Selanjutnya ada
Lalu
roknya.
It is compulsory to wear long pants in the lab to protect your skin from spills.
ya, lalu terakhir
Sendal.
Exactly.
Tidak boleh
Toes
memakai
should be
sendal
covered to protect from
di
falling.
lab.
Well done. You have proven that you know how to work in a lab. What do you have to do before leaving the lab to make sure you don't carry traces of chemicals outside?
Alter your
selanjutnya
lab. Option A.
Oh iya, sebentar, wait.
Exactly. If there are traces of chemicals in your hands, you might, for example,
oke.
transfer them to something that you eat later in the day.
Continue.
Let me ask you one last question. Do you feel like you gained relevant knowledge during this simulation?
Completely agree. Option A?
Option
Thank you
A
for your
kan?
feedback.
Ya, option
Oke,
Your
Continue.
score has been
Okay.
saved together with your 100% progress.
110 per 110.
Congratulations, you have completed the simulation. We hope you
Yeay.
enjoyed it and you feel wiser now.
Oke, setelah selesai,
Ya, kita keluar.
keluar dari labor. Pintu keluarnya ada di sini ya.
Keluar
Keluar, kita tutup lagi.
lagi.
Selesai.
Selesai. Tutup pintunya kembali.
Dan
Selesai kita simulasi labnya.
penutup.
Sekian dari simulasi lab dari kelompok 13. Kami mengucapkan lebih dan kurang atau salah-salah kata dan salah pengucapan nama maupun alat-alat atau yang lainnya. Terima kasih atas semua kerjasamanya.
Sama-sama.
Sama kembali.
Selamat pagi.
Pagi.
Sudah.
Dapet Opin.
Matikan.
Yeay, 110.
Yes.